everyone, welcome back to SnowRunner, y'all, and in this video, we are going to be checking out this is actually a absolute treat to be able to check this truck out today, because this is a 2024 Chevy Silverado ZR2 Bison with the Duramax turbo diesel engine, and this is a mod by YeahBuddy, whose information will be in the description box down below if y'all are on PC and want to check this thing out. Now, the map we are using to test it on is TNB Trails, although I will warn you, this is an extremely heavily detailed mod with a lot of customization and a lot of different features, a lot of different suspensions, and we probably won't be able to go through everything in one video. So in the event that there are details that we won't be able to cover, we will probably be able to revisit this truck in a future video. So without any further ado, let's just go ahead and see kind of the surface level details of this truck in the garage, then take it for a drive and see what we can do with it. And if there's anything else that y'all would like to see me do with this truck, let me know in the comments down below. But without any further ado, let's get into the garage. Now, starting off with the customization, we have the stock engine option, then we have an upgraded option, and then a performance option. I think for now, we'll go with the upgraded, and then in the future, we'll do a full-on performance build. Then gearbox-wise, you got stock, highway, and off-road. All of those have been obviously custom set up and tuned. I think on this map, we'll do an off-road setup, and then we have a couple of different, well, I say more than a couple. It's actually a lot of heavily tuned, very specifically spec'd suspensions. So we have stock with level 3, which is stock suspension with level 3 factory adjustment capable of 35 to 41 inch tires with the adjustability. Then we have the lift suspension, which is functional with 35s to 41s. Then we have lift 2, which is a high lift for use with 46 inch tires. And then we have lift 3, which is the Bison Trail Edition, which that one is spec'd specifically for 42s, which I think we're going to go ahead and run. Now, tires wise, you have a immense list of tires here, and it's far beyond really anything that I'm personally even used to. Like, there is so much detail baked into all of these different suspension setups that I'm actually... It's interesting. I thought I was going to be seeing more 42s. I guess it's for 41s, but I mean, 1 inch of tire difference, tire size difference isn't going to be a massive deal. So I think what we'll do is we'll go down a little bit further. We'll try to find the 41s or 42s in kind of an MT style, and then we will go from there. Whoa! There are so many different wheel and tire package specs. Let's see. God, the 35s are just still going. I am still scrolling. And it's, okay, here we go. Here's the 41s. And so I guess the tire size is 41, but the suspension is spec'd for 42. It's going to be one of those, like, it's close enough type things. Now, do keep in mind that this is a work in progress, and there are some things that may seem a little bit out of place. So if you do notice something here or there, just know that that's probably why that is. So let's see. I know that I want to run something very close to a lot of other, like an MT style tire, but I also want it to kind of be somewhere in an in-between that you might see being run on a street truck, but not necessarily, well, I say street truck loosely, but like an overland build that you could still drive on the street. Now, you do have some deep dish options as well, but I don't think I'm going to run any of those. I think I'll probably run, but the deep dish wheels with the Patagonias look so good though. You know what? Yeah, we're going to run the deep dish wheels with the Patagonias. I was originally not going to do it, and then I saw how good they looked, and I was like, I think we're going to do it. Now, should we run the chase rack? Oh, the chase rack looks so good. I mean, it does kind of set the build off for sure. Now, roof light wise, let's see, how far forward are the ambers? I don't know if I want to run the ambers and the integrated roof rack light bar. But let's see. Oh, there's also a welding setup that you can throw in the bed, but I don't know if that conflicts with it looks like it does conflict with the chase rack, so we'll probably run the welder setup in a future build. Now, let's see, various bumper options. So we've got front bumper 1. Oh, that's like just a cut. That is wild. Okay, let's see. I really like that one, though. That's that's kind of like that mixture between like a trail build and an overland build that I really, really like. Let's see. Those are really big. They're a little bit bigger than I want to run on this thing. And then we also have the body armor bumper that y'all have seen before. I'm going to go with front bumper 2 because I really like that. You can also do paint matched trim, which I think I will do that. And then you can throw a standard like bumper pull hitch on the back if you want to. You have some self-defense add-ons if you would like to add them as well. And then let's see, you can do tint. I don't know if I want to do tint because I don't want to completely darken the windows on this thing because I still want to be able to see out. Let's see. We do have a kind of a standard-ish assortment of wheels, it looks like. And then, I want to run these, they look like Raceline beadlocks, but I think I'd probably have to switch the tires in order to run those. And then, let's see, a lot of these, oh, that looks so sick. I know that not everybody watching is going to be a fan of that wheel choice, but I think the red on the black, even the red on like kind of this bluish gray looks wild, especially with the color match. Oh, this is absolutely nuts. Let's go ahead and see how it does. And I'm genuinely like extremely excited to take this thing out. The tires definitely look a bit big for the suspension height, but I think that that's also probably contributed to by the fact that I'm running some really wide offset wheels. And what's interesting about this particular suspension setup is the fact that this one is not height adjustable, probably because this suspension height was specifically tuned for this tire size. So let's go ahead and get the dev tools out of the way. And I'm going to go ahead and get the time back to kind of mid-afternoon so we get a little bit of a, I don't know, just a little bit of a nice day. And setting off, okay, yeah, I can tell already right off the bat that this thing is super well spec'd for this tire size. Even with the off-road gearbox, it still rips. It still absolutely shreds. Which way do I want to go? Oh, I'm so torn because we could go just ahead and be right on a trail, or we could go literally left or right. We could go either direction and find some other insane trails, like right off the bat. I tell you what, we haven't gone to the left in a while. Let's go down this way. We'll head out towards the racetrack, although I don't really plan on doing a lap of the racetrack because I don't want to necessarily take this thing. Oh, did not mean to put it in reverse. But I don't necessarily want to take this thing rock crawling right off the bat. I think I want to do more kind of overlandy slash mud slash mild rocks kind of, you know, style of trails. So what we'll do is we'll go over to the, oh, I'm not used to this being here. Was this like an addition that I missed? I don't know. Probably. It was probably an addition that I missed, or it's something that was added in one of the more recent updates. I'm not entirely sure, but that's sick, and I definitely want to check it out. So let's see. Let me make my way around this corner. And since I haven't been down here to the racetrack since the most recent update, what we'll do is we'll probably just head right across the track and then link up with the other trail. God, I love this area of the map so much. I think what I want to do is probably head... Oh, where does that other trail start? Oh, it literally starts right there. It's been a while since I've been to this trail system, but I do have at least a good memory of it. Oh my God. Yeah, the holes out here are pretty freaking deep. Do you know what would be wild? We need to bring a camper setup out here behind this thing. This thing would be awesome to pull a camper with and yet still have some off-road capability, because this is one of those trucks where I feel like if you're going this all in on a truck like this, you're gonna want to use it for a huge variety of things. You're gonna wanna be able to carry people around in it and also gear in the bed, but you're also gonna want to be able to tow with it, whether that's towing a crawler or maybe towing a camper or towing like an overland setup. There are so many reasons why you would wanna go this in depth on your kind of full-size truck build. And, oh, geez. Oh, that was fun. That was a little bit, that was a little bit of a bad line choice on my part. I mean, not a little bit of a bad choice, or bad line choice. That was just an overall terrible line choice on my part. But again, don't worry about it. We've got, you know, 40, I was about to say 42s, but I guess these are 41s? I'm still so confused as to why the suspension says it's spec'd for 42s, but in the menu for the tire selection, it has them all listed as 41s. So, I don't know. I mean, the top spec is listed for 46s, and the 46s I would like to run on a build in the future, but I think for the build that I wanted to test this thing out in, or at least the form I wanted to drive it in, to begin with, I think the 42s, or rather 41s, that is gonna mess me up so bad, like going back and forth between the two. But I do think that it is a really good tire size for this truck. It just honestly makes you want to go spend, like, you know, not even, I was gonna say a weekend in the middle of nowhere, but more like, I don't know, a week. I mean, look at all that spare fuel. That's so much spare fuel. You could, if you were, I guess, kind of moderately thrifty about the mileage that you drove, and you were really on top of how much fuel you had, and like you really knew your reserves, I mean, you could totally spend a week out in the wilderness with a truck like this. You'd probably need to have a little bit of a camping setup with you, but I mean, you would certainly be able to pull it. And in a truck this new, I mean, that interior would basically be lap of luxury as well. Let's see if it'll rip down this trail section. It's, oh my God. It's shredding. And I'm basically not telling the transmission to do anything. Like, it's choosing what gear to be in entirely on its own. And for it to be able to do that without having any strange issues or hiccups or like any odd like points where it will stop and then revert to first gear and then have to kind of rethink where it is and then go again and start over. For it to not do any of that, I think that really speaks to the transmission programming that this thing has. Is this the trail? I think. I don't know. Let's give it some beans and find out. I would imagine it is. I mean, it doesn't hesitate at all in high. And keep in mind, we're on the mid-range setup, not the top end. It just seems like it would be such a comfy truck. Like, it would be so comfortable to take through obstacles like this, and it would just lumber over everything. Like, A, it was no big deal, but not only like it was no big deal, like it could just do it all day and never worry about it. Like, it really does have that kind of a feel and that kind of a vibe. But if y'all enjoyed this first look at this 2024 Silverado ZR2 Bison DURAMAX, mouthful of a name, I know, but let me know your thoughts and opinions on it in the comments down below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see y'all next time.